Okay, guys. I don't know what I sound like. I hope I sound okay. Anyway, I made these videos, but they're all like with screensaver thing or whatever. So they're watching the screen while I'm talking to you, right? But sometimes I'm not doing anything on the screen. So it's these huge videos, and they can go up to an hour, and I'm like, crap. All right, I'll just talk to them. Now, I jump around a lot, but I jump around everywhere in those videos, and I just tell you everything straight up. And I was gonna I've been recording them. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna be myself and talk to them. And I don't want you to focus on like what I look like. I mean, please ignore my if I sound weird because I don't keep track of like. Okay, anyway, I have to explain that later. But I just changed into what ever I'm changing into, and that's the voice I have. And it's not going to be like creepy stuff, but it's just like the way you're supposed to say it, and that's why I say it that way. Anyway, if you make it that long, you cannot upload it. Like Twitter can only upload so many minutes at a time. So I'll find a way. I was thinking of doing something, but if I tell you what it is, I probably won't do it because I'll do it a different way. So I figured out that okay, so like I was gonna man, let's go build a place in the metaverse, put all this shit in there, and I was like ready for it. I was gonna go learn all this code. I'm coding. Like God taught me how to code that language, so I could probably do that. I'm like, man, I don't really have time for that. And really, it's not even that. It's like I want your help. Like I already did a whole bunch of shit because with the people who were helping me. We already changed everything. We already changed everything. Like we might have to suffer through this lifetime, but it's already set. If you're loved, you move on with God. And if you're not loved, you can stay here and do whatever you want. You can have this place, but you're not going to torture us anymore. You're not. God doesn't want to be a part of that. It's like that song, Hated. Hated by Beartooth. That's what it is. Like in the end, God stands up for themselves. They're like, you know what? You don't determine my fate. I determine my fate. I gave you free will. I can make choices too. And that's what like the judgment is all about. And it's like God's like, you know what? Let's be love, guys. And God's talking to all of God. Just imagine that God is your human body, and God's constantly like doing things to show its body that it wants to be loved. But you keep getting cancers and sores and tumors and stuff, and it just doesn't want to act right. So you're like, we don't need this body. You know what? We don't really need this body because we're still us. Like we're us whether we have a body or not. If you believe you have a soul or a spirit, that means you also believe that there's life after the death of your vessel. So something inside you knows that, you know what? Don't worry, man. When this thing breaks down, you'll be free of it. It'll convince you it'd be the best thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how people think. I tried like figuring it out, and I just had to accept that everybody thinks differently. And so there's things I do that are supposed to convey certain things. Oh God, I love that. I always get misunderstood. Like I'm always misunderstood. Uh, Damn it, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm like fulfilling these prophecies I gave to you. So every song we use is a prophecy, something happening, an emotion we're sending towards you, a reply, or just telling you how it is. Because when it comes down to it, like God has a say, and no one's trying to figure out what God's saying. Everybody's deciding what they want to do. So, I mean, that's what's really going on. So I'm making these things, and I want to show you what happened earlier. But anyway, sometimes I'm sorry, it's that hair. I don't know how long it's going. I don't even know if it's recording sometimes. Okay. All right. So I started on Facebook. I'm not going to show you that right now. Maybe later. I'm trying to make this short, but it doesn't matter. See, what it is like, okay, so first, God had to give it to me in increments. about myself. Like everything I'm going to tell you, I had to learn, and I'm still learning today. That's why I can adjust and like change and just, I don't know. It's not like when you think that there's going to be like an end point, like you're almost giving up. Like I sometimes I get so like damn it, I'm like damn it. Does anybody hear me? And then I look at my views, and it's like 100 and something people. So if I tweeted 40 people something, okay, but I only have like 16 followers or 40 followers, that means that we reached 120 new people apparently. Or I don't know how it works. That's just how I see it. Like at first, when I first started, I was really sad. Okay, there's one thing that I did that I don't know if anybody knows, but I was on Facebook, okay? I was on Facebook. And the thing I liked about Twitter is, I don't know, you can like your own shit. Like, of course I like it. Why would I be posting it if I didn't like it? So I'm like, bam. And people used to always ask me, why do you like your own post? And I'm like, dude, I think I did a good job. I think I said what I had to do. Like, yeah, that's me. That's like me signing it. If I go back and like a post that I just posted, I'm letting you know, yep, that's where we stand. Like, that's exactly what that was. And like, people didn't get it. They always thought I was being like, I don't know. I don't know, like narcissistic. I don't know. I gotta love myself a little bit. Okay? And a lot of times, especially on Carbon Copy when he was first starting, oh my God, like, there's like hundreds and hundreds of tweets where I'm the only person that liked it. So before I found out about like view activity, I don't even know if it was there when I came. There's only like 100 and something characters you could use. So if you go to my Facebook, which we'll go to later, like I wrote books when I was like explaining something. I don't know. It's like I'm trying to get the complete information out. Is basically what's going on. And like I sometimes I get it wrong, and I know I did, but I don't have to tell you because nobody else in this world does that. So I'm just like, oh man, that's wrong. But nobody knows it because no one's asking questions about that stuff. So God was like, well, since you didn't define it to them yet, it can mean whatever we need it to mean when they want to know. And I was like, that's fucking cool. That is awesome. Sometimes I go to YouTube. I had to apologize to Eminem because I don't know, man. Like, okay, so when I met God, like the night I met God, like, I don't know, like the energy came down to see my human self. Oh my God. Anyway, I was begging her to let me love her. It was crazy, dude. It was awesome. And I died too. But anyway, that song came out. And I'm like, what? Like, I just found it. That's when I found it. I don't know when it came out, but that's when I found it. And I just played it. And I was like, I don't know how many times I played it. But I do know I put a lot of energy out into the ether and universe and within myself to affect everything while I was listening to that song. So I was like, yes, you know what? You don't want to be us? Fuck you. We're not going to let you hurt us. Matter of fact, we're going somewhere else. You can have this shit. You can have it. You want to punish our bodies, whatever the hell. Do what you want. Because when God leaves, no one's going to be keeping track of what you're doing. Like when God focus leaves with true love, I don't know who's going to record your histories. I don't even know you'll have space to breathe because God is those things too. I don't know how much is leaving. It doesn't matter. You're going to get the time that you were already allotted before we made this decision. That is justice. Like we cannot take away the time you already have. So, if we are not going to fight as a human race to like work together and share stuff, then there's nothing I can do. It's that Breaking Benjamin song without you. It doesn't matter how much I can help you change. It doesn't matter that I know what you need to do. It's very simple. It goes against everything you're being taught because they're not teaching you that specifically. Like, nope. And it's not because you'll become like some all-powerful thing because you will. It's because they want to control you and they like the situation. So, there's lots of gods out there. There are lots of gods. And there are people claiming things all the time. And I just want to tell you that you should be asking some of those questions to God yourself. Like, you might want to go interview God. Whatever you think God is, you might want to have a discussion with him to make sure that your God, your end point is the same as your path. Because I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of things that let you know this might not be the way, guys. This might not be the way. Why are both options here? Think about it. If there's a if there's a good and a bad outcome, that's not a happy ending. Not for everybody. In the Bible, it says that you die your second death. That's what it is at judgment. And you judge yourself with the knowledge that you learn upon being enlightened when you are free from your vessel, unless you send yourself somewhere else. So, anyway, this is exactly my point. I was going to show you the screen and do all this stuff, and I just didn't. I just sat it on here because, okay, I'm supposed to tell you instead of show you. That's why. That's what this is. I've shown you enough. Now I need to put it in action. So that's what Zero reminded me of. So, you know what? I had to make judgments of the world, okay? Now, I don't know what path you're going to end on unless you're a pedophile. And I can't say what's going to happen to you because I won't be there for it. Because you guys won't do it. And I know that sounds like very crazy and barbaric, but you're playing football and babies are starving to death. So I don't know what's worse. Oh yeah, I do. Don't make me tell you. Don't make me tell you that I'm wrong to judge things right and wrong in the world, because I know you're supposed to abhor evil. Abhor, eradicate, hell no, it cannot exist. That's how you're supposed to feel about evil. And you guys don't talk about that enough. You know how Jesus felt about money in the church. Now, a church is a business. Oh, did you say that? I mean, is that what you really believe? Man, why do you go to church? Jesus wasn't about that. Who paid him? You know he was homeless. He walked everywhere. He walked everywhere. And people care more about the 12 people that followed him. Oh, wait, they didn't. Because in the end, they were like, I don't know that guy. Nah, that wasn't me, dude. That was someone else, man. As he got, beat with a whip and had to carry... the story is horrible. And when I watched The Passion of the Christ, I had an epiphany. Because in the beginning, I was just like, okay, this Christianity, it's I don't know. Jesus is cool, but I don't know, dude. Why would God send his kid and have him have to die, dude? What is going on in that relationship that I don't know about? And then they're like, oh, it is God. And I was like, then why do they keep making it God's only begotten son? It's like, what the hell? If that's God and that's God, wait, there's more than one God? Yeah, they tell you in Genesis there's three, at least three. Because it says Lord God creates male and female. That's automatically three. And Lord God is 2 words, so I don't know. You just got to be careful with that kind of thing. Don't make assumptions. Work it out and figure it out. If it all goes together, then keep it together. That's what you remove the spaces. What gives words their power. Because people have to focus on it, so they're contributing their energy to the energy within the message, and that unlocks whatever they find. And it's determined by people's vocabulary. That's what the GSG is. That's the name of the language. And it's God speaking to God. Now, if people get offended by that, I don't know what to say. That was the most perfect, generic way to say, hey, this is hire me, or whatever you want to call it, or Lord God told me, up on a pulpit, or hey, dude, be careful, man, I've been down that road. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. Anyway. I'm gonna have to delete this. I don't know why. No, I won't delete it. I don't like deleting things. The only time I deleted stuff was once in shame on Facebook. Like when it first happened, dude. Like when I first got this information, oh my God, it would not stop coming. And I didn't know what it was. It's just like, imagine me seeing all those letters together. I'm like, what the It wasn't like that. It's like my brain was just overloaded. It's like overloaded. Like all I could do, like if I had a pen, I was writing something. It's like, damn it. And I write really long stuff. So I wanted to be a writer, but I decided all the good stories are out there. And mine wouldn't be good enough. I know that sounds like Debbie Downer, but I was just like, you know what? Fuck it, man. I don't need to be a writer. There's so many good stories. Like I can't, you know. Sometimes I buy books that I've already like listened to or read, but I hardly ever read them. And so if I buy them, it's for a very specific purpose. So I want to tell you what we based reality off of. And I took some time to myself. I made these hour-long videos, guys, of me just speaking to you about stuff. And it's not a war. Like, I'm trying to help you. I am helping you because you know what? At least you're facing it now and can do something still. But when that last breath leaves that body, I don't know what's going to happen to you if you're not loved. And that's not a threat. God's not going to be part of that. And the Sword of Truth in the first book, Wizard's First Rule. Oh, the Wizard's rules, they are awesome. I love them. Man, okay, so that's where I got my basis of true love from, basically. Like the relationship between Richard and I don't know how to say her name, so I'm gonna call her Kay. I forget what when I see it on paper, I do not pronounce it that way. I call her like Colleen or something like that. So, and then when I actually seen her name, I was like, what the, okay, you tried. It was cool. There's 2 A's and no E's, dude. How'd you get that? Anyway, yeah. So their love and what they go through and how they, I don't know, it doesn't, the beauty about the love between the mother confessor and the seeker of truth is that they're never questioning each other's faith. Like at no point in time do they say, oh, she might cheat on me or anything like that. And it doesn't matter what they're going through. Oh my God, that book, Faith of the Fallen. Oh, I cried so hard when he made that fucking sculpture. Oh my God, dude. Like I was like, holy shit. Like what? Oh, I didn't know love existed like that because I'm living life. But once I found the Sword of Truth and read a few of the books, I saw that like love really does exist. You know, I might not be a part of it, but it's beautiful. And you know, reading stories and stuff like that is just a way to get away. Like I don't really have time to read is what I call it. I like listening to things, but I really don't. Like really I just like, I don't know, relaxing. Like I don't want to really do anything because like I'm either working or I got to go somewhere. I have a bike now, so my legs are like wore out. And I'm not complaining, I'm just being serious. Like, dude, my bag is heavier. I'm about to throw away all my clothes because they got wet and I didn't go wash them. And I'm just like, no, dude, no, didn't know. Like, I have to get a new bag because, oh yeah, no, I can't get a new bag till it breaks down. Like, we made an agreement, me and my bag. It doesn't have a name, but sometimes I say my backpack is I'm carrying around the weight of the world and I'm being a sarcastic, you know what, to myself. Like, that's why, damn it, if I would just put them down, it wouldn't be so hard. But what would be the point? What would be the point if I put you down? So, if you want, I mean, if you want to be with God and you want to experience that, just be loved. And you're going to be saved in God's heart. God is saving every little ounce of love there is in existence. And then we're gone. And we're like, you know what? We're going home. So everybody knows the heart's the home. Well, if you believe in love. There's a lot of things that you believe that love can do, and one of them is love conquers all. So I'm just telling you, if you're not a pedophile, you have a chance. Like that, I had to pick one thing when I reset karma. Like, what is the most evil thing you can think of? And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Why are you even asking? You know what it is. You know what it is. How dare they let them live? Like, are you kidding me? That's a child for the rest of their life. Anyway, yeah, man. Like back in 2018 or whatever, when like God's righteousness came through me and Caden, uh, dude, I was like, you better burn those people on TV, man. I told them to do that. I said, oh, I want you to take, because they got sex offenders, like registered sex offenders. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, take all the pedophiles and take their pinkies and their pinky toes. If you want to let them live, if you can't bring yourself to destroy these evil things, then show me that you at least care that they hurt a child. Or do you not care because it wasn't your child? I don't know. I didn't know the world could be so cold. So, anyway, I don't want to attack anybody. I just want to tell you the truth. And I'm like, dude, you're headed nowhere. You're chasing material things that you don't take with you. You know what you take with you? All that energy you put out into the universe while you were living. That's still a part of you. What people thought of you, if you caused them pain, what people think of you in negative ways only affects you here unless you start to believe it. And that's what happens. Like, you're taught that you can't have your own unique understanding of something and be okay. Oh, you don't agree with any of us? Oh, no. It's one of these ways. There's billions of people. You can't be the only one that thinks this way. That's what ingrained into this. They're like, yeah, you could be number one in this, or you could be the greatest that, or the bestest this, but why would you want to be the bestest? I just don't know. Like, I don't. I would just like to be, if you don't mind. Not because I'm lazy, just because I don't want to have to worry about things. That's what Jesus Christ promises in the Bible. Rest. That's what I'm after. Well, I came for Jesus, but I'm going to have to cut that part out because they're going to. You know what? Earlier they blocked me. I made a new account where I'm going to put these videos. And earlier they blocked me, dude. And I was like, I didn't even do anything yet. But I was trying to upload one, but it would not upload those hour-long videos. It only uploads 6 minutes. I'm not very smart when it comes to technology. Like, I'm like, dude, they call it a smartphone. That's messed up. There was a superhero game. I don't remember what it was. It was free. It was online. But one of the quests was, like, the gorilla bad guy. He was, like, doing something with smartphones. Oh, yeah. It was keeping people distracted while he was, like, doing something, okay? And I was like, it was saying that people are dumber than their phones. And I was like, dang, dude, that's messed up. But I don't remember what the game was. But I loved that part. Anyway, that's how random things will be. That's the authentication key you need to know if you're speaking to me. Like, if you ask me a question, we'll change the subject. But if you ask me a general question, there might be like a tree of knowledge right below it. I don't know. I have to go look for it. The thing to be in the answer, this is what God said. God said the reason I can be the answer is because I don't have any questions. I don't have any questions about what I am and where I'm going. Those are the only things that I don't have questions about. Everything else, I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know if we could do it, bro. They're like, you can do anything you want. And it's like, I don't know if I want to do it. I just don't. It's not really like that, but it feels like that. It feels like that. And we always died because we would die from the emotional pain. Like, there's some weight you're carrying around that no one has a measurement of. Like, well, how much emotional pain do you have? I don't know because I can't show you. I got more than you. Oh, really? Like, why are you competing? Like, why don't you just hug because you both are carrying around emotional pain? Why can't you do that? Mental health is caused because the world is messed up, dude. And sometimes when you learn the truth, you can't forget it. Like, I mean, dude, you do not know how nasty people are. I work in fast food, and I'm just going to tell you, do you know the number one thing that I recognize while I'm working? And I don't do it on purpose, but I'm totally about food safety because I don't know. I don't want to say imagine God coming to work with you because I'm not really that God. Like, I'm just a virgin. I think I'm virgin 4. I don't want to say I'm virgin 4 because there's a movie that says that. Oh, no. I forgot. We're S. Thank God. Whew. I don't know if I can be anything else. S is tough, dude. S is tough. Anyway, there's a lot of S's. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't have to. It really doesn't. Like, I'll explain what it means if you want to know, but I mean, the end game is, hey, you need to embody love, which is keeping track of your interactions between each other and do your best to do a good job and be a nice person. That's it. And if you do that, you're going to make it because God loves that. There's not much of that anywhere. So God cherishes love. And some people have a really strange idea of what they think love is. Like, the Mayans and the Incans would like sacrifice their slaves in these brutal rituals and their organs just to appease their gods. I'm like, well, I'm glad we don't have to do that with this one. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, I'm making fun of the old gods because that's who I call Satan. Apparently Satan has like a avatar too, a being. It's not, I don't think it's human, but it's like a being or whatever, because I just know that Satan is referring to everybody that stood against Jesus, like all the gods that existed before Jesus Christ came and said, hey, let's all work together. And I'm like, fuck you, dude, I'm not giving up my shit. He's like, no, it's not like that. But I'm not gonna push that point. But that Jesus was a woman, the goddess. So anyway, I'm just gonna do these videos. And I just want to warn you that I am going to tell you the truth. And if you really want the truth, you can please fact check me. I don't care. I don't care. Because you're going to find something really amazing out when you go to like check where this information came from. Because it only comes from me. And that's got to be telling you something. It's all your information put together, and I give you that. That's why I call Justice the Book of Us. Because without all these things I used and molded and webbed together and made just one thing, a spell song. Thank you, Terry Brooks, for the Wish song. And it's really cool that my name is Song. It's really cool. So, I don't know. I didn't know that. I was just like, but you know what? If you take out the spaces in my Korean name, it says chosen name. If you just add an E at the end, okay, now you have to do 2 steps. I guess that's me and God. But anyway, it says chosen name. And then my chosen name, like my mom named me Sean Michael Collins. It means a gift from God, who is like God. It said like, okay? Who is like God. And Collins, apparently, if you really, really look for a better meaning for it, means victory of the people. But what's the victory of? Your freedom. You are all slaves. All slaves. And not only that, you're dead. You are dead and dying. Like, you feel like once you start life, you're just headed towards death. You might not think that specifically, I guess, but I'm just gonna have to edit these things. Okay, I figured it out. Anyway, so I'm going to get a voice thing, okay? But I want to do these talks. And You can talk to me and ask me things. I don't care. I just don't want you to call and yell at me, and be like, what? But we need to implement a few things. So, one thing I can tell you is that you can verify the truth using Twitter. Okay? You can verify the truth using your smartphone. You have a way to verify all the truth we shared and then the truth from thereafter just through your phone and your social media account and a screenshot app. You need to be able to take screenshots. So you don't need to, but here's where I'm going. So you want to change and become something you've never become before, and you don't really understand what it is. So I'm talking about love, and you're like, well, love can mean a lot of shit. My dad used to beat me. He thought that was love at the end. That's the last thing he said to me. I love you. I'm like, he used to beat the crap out of me when I was 6. That's not my dad, but I know someone that went through that. Their soul's been through heaven, I'm sure, when it existed. I just want to tell you the truth so you know this is our last time here. Like, we got her. She was trapped because of the cross. I never would have guessed. I thought she was gone forever. This is God's sorrow. Like, what happened to Jesus Christ crushed us. And we destroyed all of you. Everything. Because the moment it happened, it drew us to that point. So at the time, God is like set up in pairs. There's inner voice, which is inner God, and greater God, which is basically just saying the rest of God. So there's like the avatar and the one who's being creation. Time really is what they're being. They're being time. And if you mirror time off the T, at the edges it says emit time. So if you just keep doing that, there you go. That's exactly what existence is. They call it I don't even know how to say it, but they call it like some undefined name of God. That's what they call it. And you know what? The Lego movie knew who it was. The Lego movie knew that Emmett was time. Even if they didn't, that's how I found out. That's how I found out. And I feel just like Emmett. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm worthless. Like, I can't build a plane. No, dude, I can't help you build a ship. Rocket fuel, what? We're not talking about that crap. I'm talking about basic stuff, man. Back to basics. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, I'm going to do these little things. I'm going to find a way to, like, not be so random. But I don't know, man. As human me, it takes a lot of strength to do this because I'm like, dude. But I'd much rather do it with my voice than on TV. And I offered, like on Carbon Copy, if you could start from the beginning. I can't because I don't have a computer. So I don't even know if you can go all the way back, but I wanted to. I wanted to go back and keep a log of all my tweets. And then, you know what I eventually did? Like, I kept it forever. I don't know how long. I recorded, not recorded, but I have screenshots of conversations I had with people on Twitter that I saved from like 5-6 years ago. And it's so that I have, look, I cared about this conversation. I have it right here. Remember when we said this? I do, because I took pictures. Because it touched me so deeply. And then years later, like, okay, so I didn't know what I was doing really. I was just cataloging my interactions. Because I'm trying to, like, I don't know, like, I felt like Facebook was such a failure. Because people would not read those books. Like, my wife told me, your status is too long. Like, I'm not reading that. She told me she wasn't going to read that. She would go read those stories about, like, couples that like went crazy and killed people. She liked the ID channel, okay? But she would not read my like posts on Facebook. She's like, no. Nope, because she had to deal with it in person. Like, I didn't always talk about stuff like that, but that's where I was at once I accepted the mission. So, I'm just going to record these and I'll find a way to do it more efficiently. But this is kind of cool. Look, this is the original design. Okay, so I'm going to stop this one. I'm going to start over. Shit, I don't even know how to work a phone, guys.